If you're trying to figure out the best HVAC invoicing software in 2026, this video is going to break down the real options, because invoicing is not just a back office task. In HVAC, the invoice is where the job either turns into cash or gets stuck in somebody's truck, inbox, or QuickBooks cleanup queue. We're going to look at FieldCamp, Jobber, Housecall Pro, ServiceTitan, FieldEdge, ServiceTitan, and Workiz, and I'm going to score them by the things that matter in an HVAC business: mobile invoicing, estimate-to-invoice handoff, payment collection, QuickBooks sync, service agreements, and how much admin work the software actually removes. So let's start with the basic standard. In 2026, HVAC invoicing software should let your technician create or send an invoice from the field, attach photos and notes, collect card or ACH payment, send automatic reminders, sync to accounting, and keep the invoice tied to the property, the equipment, and the job history. If the software only creates a PDF, that's not enough anymore. For small HVAC teams, Jobber is one of the easiest invoicing tools to understand. You can create quotes, convert work into invoices, collect payment, send reminders, and keep customer history in one place. On the right Jobber tier, you also get QuickBooks Online Sync and automated quote and invoice follow-ups. If you're a solo operator or a small HVAC crew and your biggest issue is just getting paid faster with less admin, Jobber wins the sorted invoicing category. Housecall Pro is strong when you want invoicing to feel polished to the customer. Housecall Pro includes invoices and payment, automated reminders, online booking, quotes and proposal, price book, job cost tracking, customer communication, and on higher tiers, QuickBooks, flat rate pricing, equipment tracking, and photo reports. For a residential HVAC company, that matters because the customer does not just see your repair. They see the invoice, the payment link, the reminder, and the follow-up. For customer-friendly invoicing, Housecall Pro wins. Now let's talk about HVAC depth. ServiceTitan is built for larger home service companies that need invoicing tied into call booking, price books, memberships, technicians, performance, reporting, payroll, and a more serious back office. So if you're doing enough volume that invoices are connected to memberships, warranties, finance, sales proposals, and technician scorecards, ServiceTitan can handle that. It is not a cheap or simple option, but for large HVAC companies, ServiceTitan wins enterprise invoicing. FieldEdge is a different kind of pick. The reason people look at FieldEdge is QuickBooks depth. So if your HVAC business already lives inside QuickBooks and you care about syncing invoices, payments, customers, service agreements, and accounting data without rebuilding everything by hand, FieldEdge deserves a look. I would not call it the most modern interface, but for QuickBooks first HVAC shops, FieldEdge wins the account sync category. Service Fusion is useful for a different reason: unlimited users. So if you have a growing HVAC team and you hate per user pricing, Service Fusion can be attractive because its plans are flat rate with unlimited users. So you get estimates, jobs, scheduling, dispatching, payments, QuickBooks integration, invoicing, reporting, and text alerts. The interface may not feel as fresh as newer tools, but for predictable team pricing, Service Fusion wins. Workiz is more lead focused. You get jobs, invoices, estimates, online payments, client management, scheduling, automations, and on higher plans, tools like Genius Leads, Genius Scheduling, service plans, flat rate, equipment tracking, purchase orders, and more. So if your HVAC shop is call heavy and wants invoicing connected to phone, leads, and job booking, Workiz can make a lot of sense. For lead-to-invoice workflow, Workiz wins. Now, here's where FieldCamp is different. FieldCamp is not just trying to make a prettier invoice. It tries to remove the manual handoff. The job gets completed, the notes and line items are already there, so the estimate can convert, the invoice can go out, and the payment and follow-up can sit inside the same operation. For HVAC, that matters because the invoice should know the property, the equipment, the service history, the photos, the parts, and the technician notes. If a heat pump tune-up turns into a repair quote, and then that quote turns into an invoice, you should not be retyping the same story 3 times. For me personally, that's a bigger thing. Most HVAC owners do not have an invoicing problem in isolation. They have a hands-off problem. The tech finishes the job, the office waits for notes, the invoice goes out late, the customer asks what the charge means, QuickBooks needs cleanup, and then someone has to remember to follow up. FieldCamp wins the AI and workflow automation category because it connects invoicing to dispatch, estimates, job completion, and follow-up. But now let's talk pricing. Jobber starts with Core at $49 month to month, or $29 a month billed annually for one user. Housecall Pro starts at $59 a month billed annually or 79th month to month, with Essentials at $149 annually and Max at $299 annually. Service Fusion starts at $245 month to month or $208 a month billed annually, with unlimited users. FieldCamp's current public pricing starts at Pro for $249 a month with 3 users, Growth at $699 with 10 users, Scale at $1,499 with 20 users, and Enterprise at $2,000 plus. So FieldCamp is not the cheapest invoice-only tool. You buy it when invoicing is part of the whole operation. Quotes, dispatch, workflow automation, job costing, accounting sync, and AI. So here's the final verdict. If you're a solo or small HVAC shop and you mainly want simple invoices and payments, pick Jobber. If you want the customer experience to feel polished, pick Housecall Pro. If you're a large enterprise HVAC operation, pick ServiceTitan. If QuickBooks is the center of the business, look at FieldEdge. If you need unlimited users and predictable pricing, look at Service Fusion. If inbound calls and lead tracking matter as much as invoicing, look at Workiz. But if your problem is that invoices are late because the entire job handoff is messy, FieldCamp is the one I would test. It wins when invoicing needs to be connected to the job, the equipment, the tech notes, the estimate, the dispatch board, and the payment follow-up. That's the difference between invoice software and an HVAC operating system. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.